We started a podcast. It is really cool. Dylan, go.
I really wish I would have fucking made the intro music because that really sucked.
Hey, I was put on the spot. We hadn't decided on anything, and now we're into it now. We're in it like a pie, like a pie filling. We're in
Are we
it.
into this? Are we into this right now?
Yep, like a pie filling in a pie. That's a thing that I made up. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. So what are we doing right now, Dylan? We're making a podcast, but I mean,
We are.
we just pulled out a podcast. We put that out about like our Donut Nights channel and everything like that, which doesn't have any content yet. I'm working on it. Calm the fuck down. But what are we doing this time? This time around, what are we talking about?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, prepare your glands because we're about to have a nerd orgasm with the stuff we're talking about this week.
Jesus Christ. I'll put down like a sheet. What's going on?
Oh, we are talking about dun-dun-dun-dun, how to be a millionaire. No, I'm just kidding. Flash and Arrow,
Bum 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 bum
which
bum.
was solid television this week. One was better than the other, but
One was significantly better than the other.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And
So I mean, coming from a background of myself being probably Flash is probably my favorite superhero of all time, and then
and
there's you who thinks Green Arrow is possibly one of the best superheroes of all time.
correct.
Yeah, we're not talking about Superman or Batman, and then Marvel can go sit somewhere in a corner. We'll talk about them later.
Which after the fucking episodes that occurred this week, I'm guessing. Well, I'm not guessing, but I'm assuming you're right in saying that Flash is one of the greatest superheroes.
Damn right. Damn right. Finally, I got. Oh, God, I'm so happy to hear you say that.
But Arrow has been kicking ass for like 4 years now.
They started in 2012. It's only been 3.
Damn it!
Damn it.
I was so far off, Sean.
Yeah, you were. That whole
Before,
year. A lot can happen in a year. We became friends in a year.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Before we
All
get
right.
into anything, though, have you ever fucking seen dogs with snow?
All right, just for anyone who else knows, we're from Minnesota. It's late March and we just got like ass tons of snow yesterday.
And it's been like 60s for weeks.
Yeah, it's been like 60s for like 2 weeks straight, and then it just like pounded snow upon us.
Yeah. So anyway, no, I'm driving home,
Mhm.
and there's a dog park right next to my apartment building.
Mhm.
And this chick is trying to hold back 3 dogs that are just going absolutely ape shit crazy. Like they've never seen anything like that in their entire life.
Like they were
Like,
barking at it like it was a demon.
like one dog looked up and he looked like a cocaine addict because he had like snow
Just
just on
on
the
the end
tip.
of his snout.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. And he's and I could just I picture what he was saying in his mind, like just talking to his owner, like, "Are you fucking seeing this right now? Fucking seeing this? It's white and shit."
It's all wet. It's wet. Is it water? It's
Seriously
cold
though,
water.
it was so great. Really
Oh,
brightened my day up to talk about this.
oh my god. Next time on Donut Nights Podcast, Dylan talks about dogs. Dun dun
And
dun.
snow.
And snow. Alright, but let's get into this.
Which one are we talking about first?
Flash, it comes first.
Ah, okay.
Flash is on Tuesdays, Arrows is on Wednesdays. We talk about Flash first. Makes
Gotta
sense.
keep it canon, I guess.
Oh yeah, you keep that shit canon.
The
Oh.
floor is all yours, my friend.
The floor is mine. I thought we agreed that you were gonna do this one.
Oh, I didn't know you made that agreement, but I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Alright, alright. So basically this week on The Flash, we got to see an old friend who's a new friend, but it's basically the same person. Um, so in the first episode, there were the two brothers, and they got up into that plane, and one of them became what we thought was the weather wizard until uh, Barry's father shot him in the chest like 3 times, and then he died, and then we were all mad because they killed like the weather wizard. That is not true, folks. This week on the Flash, our villain of the week was Mark Martin. He was the other brother in the plane, and he is the legitimate weather wizard. And it kind of all took us by surprise, but I gotta say, this weather wizard's powers was way cooler. He condensed like an ice ball, and he shoved it into the face of a coroner. It was amazing. It was really cool.
Although still not as cool as I would like it to be, but it was a lot better than the initial guy.
How do you want? How could it have been better?
Well, I mean, the fuck, obviously, the fucking big ass wave at the end was pretty sweet, but
Well, we
I
fixed
just
that.
think you could have made like hurricanes and shit, you know, really
Well,
causing damage.
the weather wizard isn't that powerful. The weather wizard in the comics, he's got like a wand. That's why they call him the weather wizard, and his wand controls the weather. But it's not like anything crazy like that.
How cool would it have been if the weather wizard was a meteorologist before
And
he
his
turned?
and his weatherman name was the weather wizard.
I even have a catchphrase for him.
God. All right, yeah, go.
I used to report the weather, but now I am the weather.
Oh shit, that's good actually.
Just came up with that.
Oh my god, I like that. I like that a lot.
I was expecting some like music to be playing after I said that, like in the Arrow. I am something else.
God damn it. Alright, so basically, Mark Martin, the Weather Wizard, he's our villain of the week, but he is in no way, he doesn't do anything really for the show. He's basically there as, like, your token bad guy. Everything else that happened in the show is insane and it has almost nothing to do with the villain. And it's basically on the last 15 minutes, but we're going to talk about the rest of the episode before we get to that last 15 minutes. So basically, the huge build up for what was going to happen in the 15 minutes. It was basically kind of your standard Flash episode. If I remember right, Cisco's trying to figure out if not. Oh shit, what's his name? I can't remember characters' names, Dylan. How is this gonna work?
Joe?
No, not Joe. Yeah, well, Cisco is starting to believe Joe that Professor
Harrison Wells.
Wells
Yes.
is evil, and so he's trying to get close into the lab, and he's trying to inspect the containment shield that was supposed to contain the Reverse Flash, because Cisco's questioning everything now.
Which I applaud Cisco because how
Mhm.
could you think that somebody in a wheelchair is evil? I will never understand. But,
His name is Professor Wells. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. H.G. Wells, time travel, like, I can feel it. I can feel it.
also, I feel like Cisco should be fat because his name is literally a brand of grease.
No, you're thinking of Crisco.
Oh, I am. That is correct.
Cisco's awesome. He turns into, in the comics, he becomes. Oh my god, I should have done my research. Next time, I swear to God, guys, we'll do a research on what we're gonna say. We just kind of winged this one. But no, in the comics, he becomes Vibe, which is basically like a breakdancing dude.
Yeah, I actually knew that, and I was assuming before the whole ending happened that's where they were going with that.
Yeah, but and then that ending though. We'll talk about it, but we gotta get through all the other crap that happened in this episode. Yeah, so Cisco's starting to believe that Professor Wells is evil. He goes to check out the containment facility, and then we get. Oh my God, Dylan, help me out.
Okay, what are you trying to say?
The girl. What's the girl's name? Not Iris.
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Oh my God, Caitlin Snow. How do I forget that? I remembered her as the Frost Girl. I was like, she has something to do with cold. I don't know what it is. Caitlin Snow. He gets Caitlin Snow to talk to Professor Wells in a cafe and try to like bide his time, and they're doing that. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Joe and Barry are starting to work this case with the brother of the dead weather wizard, but this is now the legit weather wizard. It's kind of confusing if you keep saying weather wizard.
Barry and Joe are on the case.
Barry and Joe are on the case. Yeah, so they're on the case. And Barry and Iris, right before that, they bumped into each other into what was assumingly the most awkward bowling game ever committed, ever.
I love Barry's little dances after he got kind of a strike, but not really because there's still 2 pins up. You just fucking flip out.
Yeah, dude. Of course. Have you not gone bowling before, Dylan? You freak out and you do like a little happy dance every time you knock down the pins.
I
And it
stomp
makes you
away if I
happy.
get anything less than a strike, Sean. I don't know about your bowling game.
Man, you gotta have fun with bowling. But the problem with that was Iris and Barry, they were having a little bit too much fun between themselves, and they were making the
Oh
judge
yeah,
real jealous.
she's like wiping fucking stuff off his lips and
Yeah,
everything.
they like ordered fries for like all four of them, and he was eating the fries and he got ketchup on his face, and his girlfriend was like talking to him, and she was about to wipe it off, and then Iris is like, "Nah, I got this."
And Eddie's face when she did that was so priceless. That's
Fucking
like
his
that's like
girlfriend's
my
face when
that's
he
like
did
my
that.
that's my face if somebody eats my Taco Bell. Like it's just complete fucking just disdain for everything living at that point.
Oh God. Yeah, it was real weird. And that whole I don't know. Are you do you think that Iris and Barry they mesh? Because
Absolutely.
really I don't get that vibe at all.
As I was texting you, I was like, "Yeah, this works." Like I don't see Caitlin and Barry together. Well, I
Not
mean
really.
not Caitlin. What's her name from the newspaper place?
God, she's gonna
Why am
go
I
in like
asking you? Why am I asking you for names? We're never gonna get it. But
we're
anyway,
never gonna get it.
I,
Okay, keep
I
talking.
never
I'll look it up.
I never saw them together. But like him and Iris, I see it. I see it, and I see a lot of potentially good things with that. Like eventually they're gonna get together. I don't know if it's gonna happen the same way as it did in this episode, but at some point it's going to happen, and I just see a lot of villains kidnapping her, and that would make an angry Barry and an angry Joe, and that makes a happy Dylan.
To see an angry Joe.
An angry Joe, I look at Joe like Diggle of
Okay.
Flash.
Yeah.
Just go in guns a blazing with superheroes, and knowing that you're mortal but you act like you're immortal, it's pretty great. But yeah, I see Joe as that person. So if just an angry Joe just going in guns a blazing and Flash just going crazy town with his speed. I just think it would be really fucking good.
It'd be
Really
really
good.
good. Also, that girl's name is Linda. Her name is Linda
Linda!
Park. Yes, Linda.
What a boring name. Alright,
Right? But
anyway.
she's hot.
I think Iris takes the cake on that one.
No, 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 no,
Iris
no.
is like perfect.
Iris is good. Linda is more beautiful, in my opinion. We're getting way off topic though. So basically, if you've been following this podcast at all, they go on a double date that's super awkward. Barry and Joe see the coroner, who we mentioned at the beginning of this episode, who was killed by the weather wizard who threw an ice ball into his chest, like
Really just
repeatedly.
brutal shit. Like he just keeps launching them at him.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, "Tell me where he is, or tell me who did this, or tell me who killed my brother." And then he just like
Okay,
throws like ice balls at him. And we live in
okay,
Minnesota. We
okay,
know how ice balls hurt.
okay, Batman. Where is she?
Where is he?
Alright,
Where's
proceed.
the man who killed my brother? Where's the only black cop on the force? I don't know if that's accurate, but it was a funny joke. Anyway, they go and check out the scene. They realize, hey, it's the Weather Wizard's brother, and he's gonna really want revenge on Joe. He's gonna come after Joe with like everything he's got, and it's gonna be insane, right? It's gonna
Yeah,
be crazy.
crazy stuff.
Um, so basically, the next 30 minutes of the episode is them doing like their basic Flash thing. with Barry investigating, trying to figure out what's going on with the Weather Wizard. Where is he? What's going on? Keeping Iris away as far as possible and trying to protect her as Joe goes on a rampage to find the Weather Wizard. Right?
Correct.
Fairly accurate. And
Yes.
yes, and then everything that happens after that is in like the last 15 minutes. At one point in the story, towards the end, uh, Joe meets up with his partner Eddie in an abandoned warehouse, and they track down the Weather Wizard, and they basically find his old hiding spot. But then, out of nowhere, Joe gets sucked through a window. And to be honest, did you like for like half a second? Did you think he was dead?
No. No.
Really? Because I thought he was gonna. I thought he was like for like half a second. Not even.
It
I thought he was
it's
dead because he
it's
gets
way too.
sucked through that window. It was
Yeah.
like brutal.
Yeah. It's way too soon for that though.
I know, and to be killed by the Weather Wizard, he's kind of a crap character. But
Yeah.
still, he got stuck through that window, and it was super brutal. And you just see Eddie's face just go, Joe! And he's like heartbroken and just sad and terrified.
Yeah. I like this Barry a lot. Like just fucking ready to rage at any point.
Well, I mean, he like kidnapped his father, basically.
Yeah.
Joe's like
Yeah.
his adopted dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the scene then cuts to Joe is on the docks. No, we missed something. What did we miss? Oh, the captain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The captain. Yeah.
The captain, and then there's the showdown at the police department.
Yeah.
But no one really cares.
Yeah. This episode is all about the last 15 minutes. No, make no mistake about it.
Yeah, anyway, I'll touch on it in a little bit. There's a showdown at the police station where Cisco comes to Joe with basically a weather wand that will stop the weather wizard from using his powers. And then Joe immediately loses that, like immediately for plot. And then that's what he does. He loses
Yes.
it for plot.
Correct.
Um, and then after that, we see the captain. Oh, in the police shootout, the captain was hit by a bolt of lightning from the weather wizard, and now the captain is in the hospital, and he's paralyzed from the waist down, most likely,
Yeah.
and he won't be coming back to the force.
He protected Joe, which I really liked because he is the
Mhm.
captain,
Mhm.
so he's got to watch out for his boys. So when one of his best detectives is about to get hit, he jumps in front of the
He
bolt.
jumps in front of that bullet. Ah, it was really good. You know what I really like about this show, unlike
What?
other shows? Um, when they bring in the captain's husband,
Yeah.
you were like you forgot that he was gay, but then
Yeah.
you realize he was gay, and you don't care because this is just a dude grieving about another dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It
love
makes
it. It's
makes
like it.
no offense. They're not over the top about it. They don't put it in your face or anything like that. Like it's just a thing that happens.
Yeah. They don't shove it in your face. They just make it very subtle.
They just make it subtle, and that's all you need in a good
That's
story.
all. That's all you need, because then you make everybody happy that way.
Yeah, I don't need it shoved in my face like anything. I don't want like a total straight relationship shoved in my face either. And you don't
Yeah.
need to make a big deal about a gay relationship. It's a gay relationship. We accept it. Let's move on. And that's what
Yeah.
they did, and they did it
Exactly.
in a really great way. And that's
Yeah.
all I have to say about that.
Exactly.
I liked it a lot though. It was a good way to do it. So everything after that, Joe is kidnapped on a dock. Basically, Joe's kidnapped on a dock with the weather wizard. Joe is beaten to shit. Did you realize that? Like after
Yeah.
he got sucked in through that window,
Yeah. Just
all of
everything.
his
Just everything about him is broken.
yeah.
And
Did you see his leg? His like left leg was like behind him somehow.
it's just laid to the side like it's just a fucking piece of board sitting next to him.
I know, right? It was oh god, it was gross. I was like, legs aren't supposed to do that. What's going on?
I also like that Joe was like basically just like kill me, get it over with. But then fucking Weather Wizard's like no, that'd be too easy.
It
I'm gonna
would be
take
too easy, and I mean, for plot, he's got to go after Iris.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah I like that.
Also, so the weather wizard makes Joe call Iris up on his cell phone. And then Joe says like 3 words, and then it's taken away by the weather wizard. and it basically says, "Come to the docks. Come alone. Don't tell any of the police officers." And then he hangs up. And then what does Iris do immediately? She tells Barry.
But he's
And
not the police, though. She really used her head on that one. Well, I mean, he is the police, but
he
he's not
is
the
the
whole police.
police. He's the
Not,
CSI guy.
but he's not the whole police force, which I think Weather Wizard was getting at.
I know.
Which, by
Yes.
the way,
Yeah.
how would he even know if she told them? Like, they could have easily just got some snipers up in the buildings.
That's
And,
totally
like,
true. Like he wouldn't have known at all. Like that's not his superpower. I can control the
I'm the
weather,
weather
which
wizard,
means
but
I
I
can
can.
hear everything and know everything.
I'm the weather wizard, so that means I can use clouds to see what happens. Also,
I know,
no,
right? It's not like a bullet would stop, or like a bullet would be stopped by like a little bit of wind.
also, I love it how fucking Linda comes in the police station as they're leaving,
Oh
and
yeah,
they look like in a rush to go somewhere. And Barry's like, "No, no, no, Linda, it's not how it looks." And then Linda's like, "No, no, no, we have to talk now," even though there was just an attack from the fucking police force,
that's the
and
one
everybody's
thing
just
that I don't like about Linda is every
shows,
time
she always shows up. Just like, we
I
need to
know,
talk right now. I
I
know
know,
everybody's like freaking out around here, but we need to talk alone.
but we need to talk alone, or he'll be like, "I got a cop thing that I gotta do. I gotta go right now. It's a cop thing," and she's like, "No, no, 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 no. Can it wait? We need to talk about a relationship." No, he's gotta go solve crime and shit.
She always gets pissed when he has to go
I know.
solve a murder.
I know. The one time she was cool with it was the one time he wasn't doing cop stuff, he was doing the Flash stuff, and like the department couldn't back him up on it, and he was just like, "Fuck."
And then she gets equally pissed when she sees Iris, even though Iris looks like she's crying and fucking Barry looks hurt. Like, they're not gonna go bang looking like that.
She's just mad he's with another woman, the woman that he loves,
That's why I don't like Linda.
obviously, and
Anyway,
the woman that or and Iris loves that man. It's pretty obvious. Anyway,
okay, proceed.
um Barry and Iris get to the dock. They look through binoculars and they see the weather wizard holding Joe captive. And at this point, Barry has no other choice. He's got to do it. He's got to. Right in front of her dying father, they'd make out.
I know, I know. Her dad's about to die, and they're like, I gotta say this now. I gotta say this now, even though my dad's like almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
I do love you, Barry. I do.
I do.
It was really weird.
I love you too. Glomp face. Like.
Oh, by
then,
the way, now that we got that out of the way, I can run fast.
yeah, he's like, by the way, I didn't want you to see it this way. And he like runs like he basically runs in a circle and he turns into the Flash. And then her face is just like, "Oh my god. No."
Oh,
Alright,
look,
so the Flash is on. He's gonna go save Joe because, he's super fast and he can do all that other crazy stuff. He's gonna go save Joe.
oh,
But,
you gotta talk about that.
yeah, I was gonna stop. I was like, but, before he saves Joe, we gotta talk about Cisco.
Okay, yeah, you were reading my mind, dude. Are you in my head?
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Right in there. I'm right below, like, your temporal lobe.
this coming scene right here was the most emotional scene I've ever experienced in the show.
Oh, totally.
I was upset, I was depressed, and I was raging
Yeah,
all
but
at the same time.
we gotta talk about the build up to it, though.
Okay.
Okay. So, as we said before, Caitlin and Professor Wells, they're at the cafe, right? And they're just getting coffee. She's stalling him so Cisco can look at the machine and figure out what is going on with the machine or what happened to the machine during the Reverse Flash incident. Correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. They're stalling, they're stalling. Caitlin's doing a real bang up job at it. Dumb bitch. God, she's so bad at stalling.
I was hoping that like fucking his excuse for running away, like just jumping out of his chair and running away, like later on she'd be like, how did you even escape? Why did you leave? I don't like lattes. I was waiting. I was waiting for that
You
moment.
were waiting for him to say his reason for leaving was I don't like lattes.
Yes.
Anyway, we haven't even gotten to that part yet. Anyway, Caitlin's doing a bang up job, keeping him seated.
So
Haha.
how's the weather
Ah,
today, Doctor Wells?
yeah, I know, right? It was a lot of crap like that. And then at one point, she's like, he found out. He's like, you know what would be a good idea? If we did this, this, and this, and we could capture the weather wizard, or the reverse flash, or where the hell they were talking about. No one really cares. And she was like, oh, thank God. He didn't figure it out. I'm going to check my watch right now and see what time it is and see how long I have to stall him. Professor
Oh,
Wells is smart. He's got professor in his name. Like,
yeah.
come on.
Stupid.
So dumb. Anyway, um, Caitlin leaves the table to get some to-go lattes, and she turns back around, and what does she see?
An empty wheelchair.
An empty wheelchair, which can only mean, bum bum bum, he figured it out.
Doctor
He,
Wells is a cock.
he was using that handicap sticker for all the wrong reasons. No, he figures out what Cisco is doing and what Caitlin's doing. So basically, back at Cisco, and he's fiddling around with the machine, and everyone wants to know how there were two reverse flashes, or how Professor Wells was in one place and Reverse Flash was in another. It was
Yeah,
through the power of movie magic. That's not a joke. That's what happened. It was a projector. It was a projection of the Reverse Flash.
pretty much. Yeah.
hmm Even though he got punched somehow.
Uh,
I'm just gonna put that up to like his super speed. Like he vibrated his molecules so hard it caused him to bruise or some other bullshit. Because that's a total thing that could happen.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Cisco finds out that Professor Wells is the Reverse Flash, and as he finds out, Cisco's heart drops. And who walks in? I should say run in, but yeah.
Professor Cock Wells.
Professor Wells, god damn it. Yeah, he just strolls in and he's like, Cisco, I've seen you found my secret.
I always knew you were smart. That's
God,
basically what he said there.
I know, right? And then he was talking to Professor Cisco was talking to Professor Wells, and he was like on the verge of crying, and it was super emotional. And he was like, how did you do it? And then you get to see Professor Wells, just you get to see how fast he really is.
Yeah, by showing like two versions of himself at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, he's going so fast you can't see him. But not only can you not see him, you can see the after image that he leaves and the voice that it makes. It's
Yeah, it's pretty great.
insane. Yeah, and he basically has a conversation between himself. And it's oh god, he's stupid fast. So
So fast
anyway,
that it's dumb.
what?
So fast that it's dumb.
It's just dumb fast. Yes, it's just no. And then it's like the most emotional scene in the whole episode. Professor Wells walks up to a crying Cisco because Cisco knows he's gonna die. Like you can see it in his eyes. Cisco knows there's nothing I can do that will beat this guy, and I can't outrun him. I'm gonna die. And Professor Wells is basically saying, I've been stuck here for 15 years. My real name is Eobard Thawne. I'm from the
Which really,
year blah
which
blah
really,
blah.
which really crushed my hopes because I was looking forward to Eddie being Ibethor at the time.
Well, Eddie's like a long distance relative,
Yeah.
apparently. Um, and Eobard Thawne, Professor Wells, stated that he was from the future and that he's been stuck in the past for 15 years, and the only way to get back to his time is to use the Flash's speed to go forward in time. That's the only way to do it. But Cisco basically asked, "Why did you come back?" Oh no, it was Cisco says, "So you did kill Barry's mom?" He's like, "Yes, but I didn't mean to. I wanted to kill Barry." And then everyone freaked out, and we're all like, "Oh my god, he's super evil."
What is
Oh,
happening?
and if you didn't think he was evil then, what the next moment must have done it for you. Do you want to, Dylan? I'm too emotional. I can't talk about it.
I can't do it either. It's
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. All right. I'll do it. Professor Wells walks very slowly up to the crying Cisco. He puts his hand on his shoulder. Cisco's pleading with him. He's saying, "I can help you. I can help you get back to your future. I can help you." And Professor Wells starts to like vibrate his hand in like his like karate chop hand, and
Yeah.
something bad is gonna happen. It just starts vibrating like crazy, and he's
I
like,
thought he was gonna be like, look how fast I can go.
no, no. His hand just starts vibrating like crazy, and he puts his hand on his shoulder on Cisco, and he says, "I know you're smart, Cisco, but you're not that smart." And then stab.
You missed the line.
What's the line?
Where he goes, okay, so this really confused me when he said this, but
Yeah.
he's like, to me, you've been dead for hundreds of years, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
I missed the whole fucking future thing. So I was sitting there and I was thinking he was from the past or something, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, he is just the biggest dick.
You got Cisco's from the past.
No, I thought Eobard was from the past. So he was
No,
just being a dick when he said, "To me, you've been dead forever."
no. It's the whole line is Cisco, you were like a son to me. And then doesn't a single tear roll down his face?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a single tear rolls down the sociopath's face. He says,
The
"This is
cock's
gonna sound
face.
hard, but to me, you've been dead for hundreds of years." And then stabby stab, Cisco died.
And which I thought was like, oh my god,
Mhm.
they're doing everything in this episode.
Mhm. It's insane. It's crazy, and I loved every second of it. But basically, that cuts to Barry and Iris making out, and then that was supposed to be like another big thing, like oh they're together, but no one gave a goddamn shit
I did.
because Cisco died.
I was like, well, at least I mean, Cisco's dead, but at least Barry got the girl.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
process.
I didn't honestly. I didn't even think about it. Like I was still pissed about Cisco. Like I
Yeah,
was on my knees. I was like yelling at my TV. I was like Cisco, no, because he's so damn lovable and you love him.
yeah, yeah.
But basically, Barry as the Flash runs out to get Joe from the Weather Wizard. Um, does he even get Joe and then he brings him back, or does the Weather Wizard just start the tsunami?
Yeah, no, he just starts a tsunami.
He
Like,
just starts the tsunami.
yeah, he didn't even go after Joe yet.
Yeah. And then at that plot exact moment, Caitlin calls Barry to tell him that Professor Wells is evil, but Barry has no time for her at all.
She was okay. So she was in the lab, so she saw that Cisco was dead.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, she was
She
crying,
knew.
but then she seemed totally fine when Barry was like, "Hey, Caitlin, how do I stop this?" And she's like, "Well, theoretically, if you run fast enough, you
I
can make
mean,
an air." Like, how are you even talking right now, bitch? You're
because there's a
what are you?
tsunami coming for the city. That's how.
But your best friend is dead. Oh, I don't know. Keep going.
Basically, all right. Weather Wizard starts up a tsunami. Barry gets down to the beach. Caitlin calls to tell him about dead Cisco and evil Professor Wells. And Barry says, I don't have time for that right now. I don't have time for your super important news, Caitlin. I need to know how do you stop a tsunami? Well, if you run fast enough, you'll create an air wave that should defend the city. And I was like, really?
Really? Yeah. Even, yeah. Even okay. I I can believe the weirdest shit in comic books,
I
but
know,
even
right?
then, I was like, really?
He just
That's
needs to run
that's
back and forth
complete.
like super fast. And then he asked her the question that's basically in every question: how fast do I need to run? And she says, for
At
once,
least at least once an episode, he has to say that. How
yeah,
fast?
how fast do I have to run? And she said, I don't think you can run that fast, Barry, which pisses Barry off because he's the Flash. He's the fastest man on
This-
Earth,
He sees that
fastest
as a
man alive.
challenge.
Exactly.
It's like,
So
watch
what?
this, bitch.
Mm-hmm. And he runs back and forth along that beachhead. And I gotta say something about the show. Their special effects are really, really good for like a
Oh yeah.
TV show.
Oh yeah. On
They're
the
really good.
CW.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. God, I've seen so many shit CW shows. Um, But yeah, he starts to run back and forth. You can see like the air cloud vortex thing building up, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see Barry's like little lightning streak go back and forth, and it goes faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and then it stops. And then you see Barry running through time, and then he stops at an earlier point in the episode. And then the episode ends.
Yes.
Which basically means everything that we geeked out about
Is
didn't
not going to
happen.
happen.
It didn't happen. None of it will happen.
None of it will happen the same way.
No, no, no. Captain Singh will not be paralyzed. I guarantee you they find Weather Wizard within 5 minutes of the next episode, and they put him in their super prison. Then they're gonna find Barry's not gonna kiss Iris.
I feel like they're still going to get together though, because now he knows how she feels.
Yeah, but she hasn't let that on. The past version of Iris hasn't let that on.
Yeah, but she still feels that way.
Oh no, they'll get together, but the next
Yeah.
episode that will not be resolved. Cisco's alive, thank God. No one knows that Professor Wells is evil. They'll just continue to trust him because they're a bunch of Nimrods, even though they're all PhDs.
No, he's got the creepiest smile in the universe.
He does. He has like one of the creepiest damn smiles in the freaking universe. Yeah, Cisco doesn't know that Professor Wells actually did kill Barry's mom. There's a bunch of stuff. And it's all gone, and it'll be resolved within 5 minutes of the next episode.
Yep. But yeah, solid episode. Fucking great.
Very great. It was really good until you realize, like, oh, nothing matters.
Yeah, the best one of the season so far, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was the best one of the season just because so many things happened. But then that ending, you're like, oh, he time traveled. Oh shit, none of this matters now. But it was so cool. It showed you like what could happen had everything gone to shit.
Exactly.
Like, Joe he's basically dead from internal injuries. Captain's gone. Cisco died. And Professor Wells showed us their true colors. It was bad. It was real cool though. But yeah.
Time to move on. Time to move on to the inferior show of the week.
Just of the week, not in all. We both love Arrow and Flash pretty equally.
So yeah, I'm not going to spend as much time as we spent on Flash, but I'll get to the gist of it, and then I'll hopefully get a fucking more time to review the next one. But all right, So we fucking come back to Roz's hideout, and he's still holding Merlin and Diggle hostage or whatever. But him and Oliver are talking, and they're like, and he's still convincing him to take his spot because I'm surprised they brought the Lazarus Pit in on this one.
I'm not surprised at all. Because that's been a part of Raish Al Ghul's, not Roz. I hate it when they say Roz. It annoys me. Does it annoy you?
Well, I kind of did say Roz earlier, but
really,
that's just how I read it. I don't know, So
anyway,
when I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, that was a God card, and it's the same, so I read it the same. But anyway,
all right, fine. I'll say Roz for the rest of the podcast. But it's been part of Roz's like lore since he was created. Like he is the master of the League of Assassins.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to introduce it though when he was actually using it. But anyway, so he's like, this pool of water makes sure I don't die, but it also is losing its effects, which I didn't know. Does that happen in the comic books? I don't remember.
Yeah, it starts to lose its effects. Basically, if you use the Lazarus Pit too much, your mental capabilities start to go way down, and you start descending into madness.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But anyway, so Oliver turns down the offer again, and he's like,
which is dumb. Right. I was so ready for Oliver to be something different than Batman in that moment.
Yeah,
like he was gonna take the League of Assassins, make it like the League of Shadows, and make it better pretty briefly.
Oliver's kind of a cock, so he He does his own thing. But anyway, yeah, he's like, fuck no, dude. There's no way I'm taking that. But so then Roz is like, oh, all right, fine. Here, take Diggle and Merlin and go home. And he's like, all right, let's get out of here. Which I was like, what the fuck? Okay, all right. He's doing good faith, whatever. But anyway, they return to Starling and fucking releases Nissa. Which, I mean, why would you do that? I don't understand.
Because Thea's, I don't know, Thea's Thea's gotten a lot better, but she's also been kind of dumb recently. And
Yeah.
then there was that whole spat that we really don't need to get into because it didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, she's still hot,
Hmm.
but she's getting dumber by the episode. What the fuck
Um,
was that?
it was my dad. He's banging on a pot to tell me dinner's done, but I gotta wait.
Oh, gotcha. All
Yeah,
right, I'll make it quick because I gotta go too. But anyway, so they
you
return
and
to
your
Starling.
wrestling.
They return to Starling, and they're like, all right, let's go back to fighting crimes because that's what we do best.
That was
That's
basically
what.
it.
So that's what they do. And Captain Lance is still pissed. So he's
He's
like,
so pissed that everyone
he's
kept Sarah's death away from him, but can he not tell, like, he
they're
is
just
so
not.
sad and depressed that there was a reason they kept it away from him?
Yeah, they're not being dicks. They're just like, hey, well, you're pretty standing on the ledge already. So I mean, one more thing could push you over.
Yeah, it's not like they kept it away from you as like a joke or anything like that, or like a betrayal of trust. It was like, you cannot handle this right now. You will literally lose your shit. And you know what? He does. And he doesn't trust the Arrow anymore. And he
Yeah,
definitely doesn't trust his daughter.
yeah. So he's like, Arrow, fuck you. I'm not helping you anymore. So forget that.
Hmm.
But then shortly after, Oliver realizes that he's not ready to give up being in the Arrow. Which
No.
why would you be? Arrow's badass.
The Arrow is badass, but I was totally ready for Oliver Queen to take on the role as Ra's al Ghul and really do something like really significant.
Yeah,
Because he brought it up in the episode. He's like, "What have we done? Absolutely nothing."
yeah, exactly. Everybody's set free that they captured. Just
He didn't
everybody.
stop the earthquake machine in season one, right? That
Yeah,
killed Tommy. In season two, what was the big thing in season two? Oh, he stopped Slade, I guess, after he
kinda.
juiced up a whole army. And
But
then,
but as seen a couple episodes ago, Slade Wilson's not staying in that fucking cage.
no. Slade Wilson's not staying in that fucking cage. Not at all. Um, But basically, I mean, honestly, like if you look at like their permanent thing that they did, crime hasn't gone down at all. All their prisoners were released. I mean, his family's died basically. He turned his sister into a killer by pursuing this life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't understand.
he hasn't done anything. So I was totally ready for him to take on the role as Ra's al Ghul
Yeah,
and really
they
do
really
something cool.
they really showed you that. Yeah, all these cool things that happened in the show so far, yeah, they're pretty much don't mean anything.
Yeah, they're like in the long run, they haven't done actually anything.
But it's still a great show. But
I
anyway,
mean, it's a great show. Yeah,
so Oliver goes to Maseo and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be that dick. I'm gonna be the green dick. I'm gonna be
yeah.
the
Miseo comes to Star City. Excuse me. He comes to Star City and he wants Oliver's. He offers Oliver the physician again,
yeah."
and Oliver's like, nah.
He's like, yeah, he's like, fuck no, dude.
He's
Are you
like,
crazy?
nah. I'm gonna be the Arrow.
Are you crazy? And then Maseo is like, um, you can't really say no because Roz already all has it all planned. So, and
God.
that's basically what he says.
Hmm.
But anyway, Nissa gets pissed at Roz because she thought she was gonna take his spot.
Yep.
She's like, "You're gonna give it to him? What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, you're giving it to an outsider and you wouldn't even give it to your own daughter. Is this you getting back at me for being in love with Sarah? And he was like, no. This man survived my sword without the use of the Lazarus pit. Customary to our belief, he will be the next Ra's al Ghul.
I
And if you
don't.
want to prove me wrong, prove it. And he basically like threw down the gauntlet to her, and she was like, I hate you.
Yeah, I mean, basically that whole thing was, I'm not a homophobe.
Hmm.
Anyway, so then Nissa's like, fuck you, Dad, and she leaves, goes to Star City, and she's like, you know what? Let me do something useful with my time. I'll train Laurel, which nobody can train Laurel. She's always going to be her
Oh
weird
my,
self.
oh my God, Laurel. There was all right. So the bad guy of the week this week was called Murmur, and it was basically his lips were stitched shut, and it was a form of like meditation. It was kind of dumb, but they used him in a really good way with like the diamond tipped bullets that went through armor. That was cool,
Yeah.
and the whole assault on the police station afterwards was really good. But there was one time, it was in the middle of the episode. It was right after Oliver came back and he turned down the offer, and he was like, "Suit up, Roy and Laurel." And they were like, "What, really?" And he's like, "Yes, let's do it. We have a city to protect."
Which they could have done so much more with Murmur. He was just kind of like an afterthought of everything in this episode.
Oh, definitely.
It's
But
like
anyway,
they were just
yeah.
like, look at this guy with a stitched up mouth. He's pretty cool, right? No.
God, it's
All
so
right.
creepy. I hate when mouths get weird. Anyway, so basically Laurel goes into like the middle of the fight and she's waving her batons around like a dumbass. And then she's about to get hit by a truck, which she can see from like 400 feet away. And then she looks at it right in the headlights, doesn't move,
Yep.
continues to not move, doesn't
Yep.
move still, and then Arrow swoops in and saves her.
Exactly.
She's basically putting herself into the position of becoming the damsel of distress. She better become a badass soon, otherwise I'm gonna really start to not like her character. I don't mind the actress at all. The actress is great, but I hate her character
Exactly.
so much. She's so useless as a character.
Everybody hates her, if you've noticed.
I know. I feel so bad for that actress to get such a character that everyone hates on, but she's got to get better. Anyway, so that happened. Um,
And
what else
then
happened?
pretty
Oh,
much,
Oliver and Felicity had their little love affair when Oliver saw him, or Oliver saw Felicity and Ray Palmer making out and getting all lovey-dovey with each other.
yep,
And
yep,
he's acting butthurt because it's not him, even though he gave or she gave him like a billion chances.
yeah,
Stupid. Um, so that happened. There's a little bit of flashbacks.
nothing really too important. But
Yeah,
then
nothing.
Arrow stops Murmur and all his goons and
Of
fucking ties
course.
ties him up and leaves him for Lance. And he's like, "Oh, is this gonna be don't expect like a thank you or something." And then that's
Yeah.
pretty much the end of that.
Yeah, because Lance is still pissed at the Arrow for keeping Sarah away from him. And then the Arrow basically goes in, saves his entire department. They meet outside. The Arrow looks at him, kind of. And then Lance says, "What do you want? A thank you?" And the Arrow goes, "I don't do this for thank yous." And he walks away. No, he shoots his arrow
And
into into God knows where.
he
And then
just goes
just
into the sky and he keeps going.
I know, I love it so much.
Even if you clipped into a nearby building, there's no way you'd be able to get that much height.
He just shoots. There's no building there, by the way. He just shoots into the night sky, and then he gets reeled away somewhere. And I was
It's
like,
crazy.
he's just like a demon.
It's absolutely crazy. But
Mm,
then here comes the meat of the episode.
he's
So there's some gangbangers hanging out in an alleyway or something, and the arrow shows up, and he just starts shooting them with actual arrows in the heart.
I know,
So he's
right? Like I was like taken aback. I was like, what the hell is Ollie doing?
he's killing the fuck out of them, and then he leaves one alive, and he's like, "You tell everybody about this," and they pan up face view, and it's Roz. So basically, he's gonna
Hmm.
present him as a murderer to everybody. So Ollie has no choice but to leave and become Roz.
Yeah. So basically, earlier in the episode, when Roz gave Ollie the offer, he basically said, "Listen, doing what you're doing now, you are going to isolate everyone you love and everyone who likes you. And this is Raish starting to do that, so Ollie will take the mantle of Raish Al Ghul.
Yeah,
Because once the offer is given to you, you become him. You have no choice in the matter."
exactly. But then, okay, so then they do the flashbacks and everything.
Hmm.
Um, but this is where the flashbacks really get interesting.
Hmm.
So Ollie and Yamashiro's son, which I don't remember his name. Do you
I
remember
don't
his name?
remember, but I don't at all. He's a really
Okay,
cool kid. I love
But
them.
anyway, they're running. Then they run into a woman, and you're like, "What? Who the fuck is this?" And then Ollie goes, "Shadow,"
And then it
and then
pans up. And then it took me a second because I live in Minnesota where there are like no Asian people. I was like, nah, that's probably just another Asian lady. Nope, it was Shadow.
yep, yep, pretty much. And then
God damn, it
fades
was
to
so
black.
funny.
Yep.
I was like, Ollie, that's racist. Oh no, it's her.
Oh no. Yeah. But yep, fades
Yeah.
to black. It's a good episode, but if you're following Flash, there's no chance.
No. It was a good episode. That, and I'm curious to see as to what Shadow being alive means for Deathstroke.
I have a feeling she's dying again.
Well, I mean, we thought that about what's her nuts, Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
but then it turned out like she lived for a really long time and came back.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, that was a really good actor. I hope they bring her back in some capacity. I hope she comes back somehow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was a much better Black Canary than fucking Laurel.
So yeah, that's the episode for this week, guys.
That was the episode. We talked about the Flash. We talked about the Arrow. It was kind of all over the place. Sorry about that, guys. We just kind of winged it. Next time we'll get like notes.
We had to rush through it. We both had to get to other things.
Yeah, but we both really wanted to do this. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening. This is Sean.
We'll be back later this week for this week's Flash and Arrow. So
Yes, sir. As well as our regularly scheduled podcast where we just kind of bullshit around.
yep, and I might have a wrestling review. It's WrestleMania season for all you wrestling fans out there.
Ooh, go wrestling, says the kid who's not really a fan and doesn't quite get it, but ooh.
Fuck you, Sean. So I might have a review of Monday Night Raw up, and then maybe a WrestleMania review next week. So yeah, we got a lot of content coming up. Hope
A
you guys
lot of
enjoy.
content. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.